Hey, I just wanted to do a quick update on the Superblast. This is Superblast version 1 from Asics. I did a 100-mile review on this shoe. I'm now up to about 330 miles. I think a little bit over that as of this morning. So I just wanted to update how I've been using it, what has changed. Actually, a lot has changed. So I'm not going to go into the upper and all this kind of stuff too much. Of course, most people that have really used it a lot, used the shoe a lot, have moved on to the Superblast 2. This one is still holding up for me, and I'll go into that too. So, of course, this is a Super Max Stack shoe. It's got about 45 millimeters in the heel, about 37 in the front for an 8 mil drop. The really unique thing about the Superblast is that for a Super Max Stack shoe, it does come in under 9 ounces in the sample size, so it's super light for this type of shoe. The outsole, so after 300 miles, what do we got? The midsole still feels great. It's still very compliant. Actually, feels better. Took me a while to break it in, and it's not super compliant in the sense that it doesn't have a lot of squish to it, but it has it is very responsive. It has this quick pop off the ground. The outsole durability, you can see right there. So this is my highest wear area right here in the toe. You can see this is my highest wear area, kind of right in here and right here where I toe off. Get a little bit of wear here. So there's still quite a bit of rubber on there. It's just that this very shallow traction pattern that they had on the Superblast version 1 has kind of worn down a little bit. And of course this outsole is a lot less grippy than what they put on the version 2. So I know version 2 was a significant upgrade. So, like I said, I had a complicated relationship with this shoe. And what I discovered was that I felt like I couldn't put enough force down into the shoe to really compress the foam. And so I felt like I was fighting over the foam in the forefoot. But what I discovered later on was that I was becoming slowly anemic, and so I didn't have the power. And so, I'm pretty lightweight. I'm about 130 pounds, and so I just wasn't able to put down enough power into the shoe to compress this foam, which is kind of on the firm side. And I know it's something that a lot of bigger guys love. So I didn't realize that I was becoming anemic at the time. I just felt like, oh, you know what, I'm in my 50s now, and so maybe I'm getting a little bit older, and I can't do what I used to be able to do. So I wasn't crazy about the shoe for the first, when I did the 100-mile review. But now, things have changed a lot, and almost any run I do, most of my runs are between like 8 and 14 miles, and this is the shoe I want to grab because, and I guess this kind of leads me into my likes about the shoe. It is firm but responsive. It's also very protective, and it's versatile because it is a max stack shoe, but it's not like a 10.5, 11 ounce shoe. So I do feel like I can still pick up the pace a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to be able to pick up the pace like I would, say, like in my OG Hyperion Max, which is a really, really, lightweight, low to the ground, quick shoe. But I don't necessarily want to run 14 miles in the Hyperion Max either. So it is versatile, and I can pick up the pace pretty well. This morning I did a 9-mile run in sub 9-minute miles, which is pretty good for me right now. My dislikes, the geometry has always been a little bit funky, because you see it kind of like slopes up and then slopes down here, so it's a little bit disconnected in the heel to forefoot. As long as I'm putting down good power, I don't really notice it. But when I wasn't putting enough force down into it, then I noticed it more. But it's not really rockered, so like some shoes will just roll you right forward. The Neo Vista, which I do have, does that quite well. But the other side of that is that the Neo Vista has a really aggressive rocker, and this one doesn't. So this one feels kind of normal, which sometimes just normal is nice, just like not a lot of weirdness in this shoe. It's not super exciting because it doesn't have that really noticeable squish and bounce, but it just works. And a lot of times that's just what I need. I just need a shoe that will protect my joints and that just works and gets out of the way. And that's what this shoe does, and it does it really well, and it's very reliable. So I can go out for a couple hours on feet, and I don't feel like the foam's flattening out. I can, I took it out for 9 miles today. I can go and take it out again tomorrow morning, and it'll be fine. It's not going to feel like, oh, well, I did run yesterday, and now it's flattened out. So not very exciting, but it works, and it does the job. Alternatives, value. Alternatives would be something like the Puma Mag Max. A lot of people feel like they can pick up the pace pretty well, but that shoe is over 10 ounces in standard size. The Mizuno Neo Vista, like I said, I do have that shoe, and it's about 9.5 ounces or something for the standard size. That one does feel bigger on foot. And then, there's a question of whether or not you like the knit upper. This one's so easy to just put on. I slip my foot in, I cinch up the laces, and I'm good to go. And I don't have to fiddle around with it at all, which I do a little bit with the Neo Vista. But realistically, alternatives for a Supermax shoe, there really aren't any other than the Superblast 2, because nobody else has really cracked the code of how to make such a big shoe that's so light on foot. Would I wear them to work? Yes, absolutely. In fact, I did when I was becoming anemic and I didn't realize it, and I was not enjoying running in these shoes because I felt like I wasn't compressing the foam. I started wearing them as a work shoe at the hospital, and they're actually fantastic as a work shoe. They're really comfortable because they're so protective, and yet they're stable, because like I wore the Nimbus 25 for a while at work, but that one my feet would get tired because the foam is really soft, and so I felt like the muscles in my feet were doing a lot of work. In Superblast, not true, because it's foam. The foam is pretty firm. Would I buy them again? Yeah, absolutely, I would now. At my 100-mile review or a little after there, I probably would have said, I don't know about that, maybe not. But now, yeah, once I wear through these, the Superblast 2 is definitely on my short list of what I'm going to replace these with, because there are just so many runs that it seems like nothing else quite matches it. So, thank you for watching. I hope I have given some useful information, and if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and comment with any questions, thoughts, or suggestions, and I will try to work on the next video describing this creeping anemia, which I think could happen to other runners potentially.